Hey there everyone, Mazarok here, and today I'm going to be going over the Protection Warrior. In the PTR, we have the two Legendaries, we have the 4-piece set, everything's all set up. So I'm not going to be looking particularly at numbers today, although we're, generally, obviously, we're going to be looking at numbers. But I want to see how the class feels with the two Legendaries and the 4-piece and how everything combines together, if there's anything unexpected, because from what I'm hearing, Necrolord might be actually really, really good for Prot Warrior next year. So we'll kind of go through them covenant by covenant, hit some dummies, and see how they feel. First things first, the tier set for Warrior, for Prot Warrior, as consuming 30 rage grants a stack of Seeing Red, which transforms at 8 stacks into Outburst, causing your next Shield Slam or Thunderclap to be 200% more effective and grant Ignore Pain. I like how they changed it from either or like either you get the Shield Slam or Thunderclap or Ignore Pain to you literally get both. So you still get the option of Thunderclap or Shield Slam, and you also get that free Ignore Pain, which is really, really nice. Just some added survivability, which, I mean, it's baked in, so it's not something you have to think about, but it will add up over time. And then the 4-piece set is Avatar increases your damage dealt by an additional 10% and decreases damage taken by an additional, by 10%, sorry, and Avatar instantly grants Outburst. So you will immediately get all 8 stacks of Seeing Red and going from there. And if you've been hiding under a rock and you don't know what the Kyrian Legendary is, for Prot Warrior, or for Warrior in general, because it's the same across the board, is the Spear of Bastion's duration will increase by 4 seconds while you remain within the spear. Your critical strike damage is increased by 25%. This is going to do nothing for you defensively, but will do a lot for you offensively. This, just to give you an example, this legendary here was the go-to for Arms and Fury Warriors for the Kyrian Covenant. Just literally wearing that one legendary made them strong. Now you get to add it to your kit as a Prot Warrior, and of course we're going to be running Reprisal, and in raids you're probably going to still want the wall, but we'll be looking at that a little bit later when time comes, when the numbers really get crunched. So let's hit some target dummies here and see how the burst feels. Now I am running Forge Light Mechanicos. Boom, 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 boom. That's how I'm going to work here. And so I'm just going to hit charge, hit Avatar, get that big Shield Slam, put Ravager down, boom, and just kind of hit some dummies here. And let's see what we're doing. Oops, I mean, we're looking good, man. Hitting 20k pretty easy. It's really not that difficult. I should have found a way to make a weak aura to track the Outburst, but yeah. I mean, it's really not difficult to get. See there, we're at 7 stacks at the top. Boom. Big Shield Slam. We're hitting 13%. I mean, it feels nice. Like, it feels nice. And if we come here, Revenge, it's all looking about the same. Everything just looks amplified, right? Everything just looks amplified. Shield Slam's in a good spot. The numbers are still going down, of course, because it's still counting me in combat. All around, this is going to feel like the Prot Warrior of 9.1, 9.1.5. It's just going to feel more stronger. It's going to feel better. It's just going to amplify everything that it was and is still going to be good. Let's go take a look at Necrolord. Now, the Necrolord Warrior Legendary. Not many people might know this because not many people play Necrolord Warrior, and if you do, you're still probably not playing the Legendary on live servers currently until 9.2 hits and you get the double Legendary. Conqueror's Banner affects 1 additional ally, and every 10 rage you spend while it is active increases the duration of your banner by 0.5 of a second. Very nice. So we're going to go ahead and test it here on 2 dummies, because the Necrolord Covenant refuses to give you a 5 dummy swarm, because that makes total amounts of sense. Like, the design of this is just dumb. Like, give every Covenant the same amount of dummies. You could have just designed it that way. The Necrolord one is seriously in a cave that you're not going to anywhere else. You could have just extended it a little further and given them a 5 target dummy system, but whatever. So, now you got to remember, when you are playing Reprisal, which we're playing here, there's a lot more ways to generate rage. Intervene will give you rage. Charge will give you rage. So for me, just standing here and hitting a target dummy is probably not going to be the best way to optimize my Conqueror's Banner, because you're going to want to charge weave a little bit and kind of move things around. But we'll see what happens here. So we'll open up with a nice charge, hit that, boom, hit my Conqueror's Banner, and just kind of go to town. We'll pad our damage a little bit, hit a Ravager. And we are extending it pretty well. So at one point I would have definitely hit. So yeah, no, if we're looking at that, it's still going. It's still going. It just popped off. So that's not bad at all. And that's just a 2-target dummy system. There would be ways to proc your revenge to kind of give you that little bit of more oomph. You get more shield slam charges as well in like actual live keys. So this could be very, very fun. Look out for Necrolord. And if you've got nothing to do right now in 9.1.5 while you're waiting for 9.2 to happen and you haven't leveled up Necrolord yet, you might want to. First of all, the plate mog is absolutely sick. It's some of the best plate mog in the game. For warriors, I love it to death. I love it on all my plate classes, but I especially love it on like an orc warrior or something like that. But Conqueror's Banner, with how long it lasts, might actually combine with Reprisal, and how long we're going to be able to get it to last when we do something on more than just a 2-target dummy, is going to be a lot of fun. I think we're gonna see a little bit more Necrolord warrior, and we're gonna be able to live that dream. Next, let's go off to Venthyr land. Condemn. So the Girdle of Unity, what this does here is it extends the duration of Avatar by 2.5 seconds every time you get to use Condemn on your warrior. Now this is going to be a little scuffed, because what Condemn, how it works is, if you've never played a Venthyr warrior, is you can use it above 80% and below 20%. There are some talents, depending on your spec, that you can change it to 35, but unfortunately Prot is not one of those. So it's going to be a little scuffed on dummies, but extending Avatar is going to be nice, especially with the 10% outburst. So you'll gain, so the 10% decrease damage and the 10% increase damage as well, on top of the 20%. So you're really going to be able to maybe work and have a lot of fun here. So boom here, hit that, and then let's hit that Condemn button. Let's just go single target, really, because that's kind of where this is at, right? Generate some rage, and while this is active, I have Condemn just rolling. I am running Theatar just because it was there. I really, it's probably not the best, but it doesn't matter. I mean, Avatar's just still going, but at the same time, he's above 80%, right? So you're not going to be able to do this the whole time, but cooldown already came off, and Avatar was still up. Literally, I got another stack of outbursts. Let's just keep on going. So on raid bosses, you'll definitely be able to get that Avatar still to last a lot longer, which will decrease a lot of the damage that you take. Let's go back to one that's above 80. Or I could just go to the one that's, you know, at 0. And you just keep bringing it down. I have yet to lose Avatar. But at the same, hey, come on. I can keep it going. I can keep it going. Single target, this might not be bad, especially for big execute phases, things like that. See, I have a brand new thing of Avatar, and I'm already keeping this one going. Now, this does require you to spam Condemn as much as possible, but there might be a place for Venthyr Prot Warrior. It feels okay. Hitting Condemn is nice. I mean, it's a huge chunk of my damage. The thing is you want to be casting more revenges with the Leggings of Reprisal, so you might play a different legendary, but you also want the shield block uptime, so it is a little, like, not counterintuitive, but they don't really mesh well together. So in M+, I honestly don't think Venthyr is going to really be the play there. I think there's definitely some better options, but in raiding, in single target, in pure single target scenarios, that's not bad. It's not bad at all, to be honest with you. Condemn deals good damage. Yeah, I personally have all of my renown up to 80 on all of them. I did this already. Venthyr single target, extending Avatar with the new outburst system, so you gain a total of 30% damage and a 10% DR. While Avatar is up, you can have that for the first 20%-ish of a boss phase, as long as you can generate the rage and the last 20% of a boss. Oh my goodness, I can't speak today. Of a boss phase. So really having uptime, like a full uptime on Avatar for 20% of a raid boss is not bad, but it has to be, like, you have to think about it this way, right? If all of the important stuff happens between 80 and 20%, you're not getting the full value out of this. But at the start of the fight, execute phases, you know, it might be enough. You know, we might be wanting to see a Venthyr warrior in raid, Prot warrior in raid, especially because with the if we go here to I equipped the condemned damage dealt prevented are increased by 3.5% for each for up to each nearby enemy, up to 17%. Now this makes it better in Mythic Plus, but not as good in single target. But Condemn also has, you know, a nice absorb to it. If you do not know. So it prevents up to 6,400 damage and some change of what they would deal to you. And if your foe survives, aka in raid, you gain 20% of your rage back. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? It might start simming better. Certain bosses, you might want to play Venthyr. Now, last but definitely not least, we are going to go see Night Fae. For those of you that do not know, the Night Fae legendary for warrior is Ancient Aftershock's duration is increased by 3 seconds and enemies take 1,234 nature damage, no, 1,234 nature damage over 6 seconds, stacking 6 times. Now, this is one of those scenarios where I really wish the Storm training dummies had, you know, 5 instead of 3. Why couldn't you just put 2 more there? But dumb design. It is what it is. For this test, I am running Naya, which tends to be the most reliable Night Fae. Although you can go Kyrian if you want to crank up some AoE DPS. Naya is just, the reliability is a lot more there for Prot Warrior than anything else. So I'm going to come here because I want to hit a spot where I can hit Ancient Aftershock and hit all targets, right? And so you just kind of hit it does good. Like, see, as long as you can keep everything within there, within your Ancient Aftershock, you're doing good damage. It's plain, it's simple, but one of the nice little hidden effects of the Ancient Aftershock is literally the fact. So DPS is good. The dot is impressive. My goodness, let's look at details here. So here we have the initial damage of Ancient Aftershock, which is 10%. The Nature's Fury dot is 23% right now. Now it's going down because I still have the deep wounds or whatever there on those ones. 23% of the damage. So that Ancient Aftershock right there alone dealt 33% of the damage going into a fight. Now you're gonna have to remember you don't have it up as much as Spirit Bastion. It's on a 1.3 minute cooldown with the conduit. Now the conduit is going to nope, it does not help the cooldown at all more than the 15 seconds. The one component that you can't quantify in a details for Ancient Aftershock is the every 3 seconds the targets are briefly knocked down. Now I started as a Night Fae Prot Warrior. I eventually went over to Kyrian. I still love Night Fae Prot Warrior. I still play it from time to time. It's really not like, but one thing, it's really not bad. And I do see a lot of people going Night Fae Prot Warrior because it is very strong. I just prefer the playstyle of Kyrian a little bit more. I like having the file. It's literally just me. But one thing that I did notice going from Night Fae to Kyrian when I did was there were certain packs in certain dungeons where I felt squishier as Kyrian than I ever did as Night Fae. Like, that pack just wasn't a problem for me as a Night Fae. And it's because of that knockdown. That knockdown acts as a group kick as long as you can contain the mob of casters within your Ancient Aftershock, because they're going to have a lot of trouble casting if every 3 seconds they get knocked down. There's a very specific time window before the mob gets up and starts casting again that they're actually going to be able to get that off before Ancient Aftershock knocks them down again, interrupting their cast. So having a literal group kick that will last 15 seconds. Every 3 seconds, that's 5 kicks to an entire group every minute 20 is really, really strong. So in certain dungeons like Halls of Atonement, Sanguine Depths, that has a lot of casters. Now, of course, this isn't going to knock down all enemies, but this is going to allow you to make a lot more pulls like the Wicked Bolt Spammers. In Halls of Atonement, as long as you have Ancient Aftershock up, it is going to make those pulls a lot easier on you as a Prot Warrior, and it's just simply by using your ability as you should, right? It's nothing, no big trick, no weird nothing else. Just keep the casters inside the Ancient Aftershock. Make sure that your DPS do not move them out with like ROPs or things like that. Try and keep them in there for the whole duration, and you're probably going to notice you're a lot more survivable that way. And with, I mean, honestly, add Reprisal and that Night Fae Legendary, I honestly think Night Fae is going to be a lot more fun for Prot Warrior. So ending this, Prot Warrior really doesn't have a bad Covenant. They're all fun. Play whichever one you want. And I think the adding of the Covenant Legendary to the Prot Warrior kit for M+, for Raid, is just going to be lots of fun. Play whichever one you want. I think coming up next tier, I'm going to be a lot more open to bouncing around on my Prot Warrior and not just sticking to Kyrian, because adding the second legendary is going to be a lot more fun. I did play some Necrolord, not much, but I think being able to really extend that Necrolord buff is going to put me over the edge to want to play Necrolord Prot Warrior more. If you have any tanking questions, I am going to be doing DK and Paladin coming up. Same thing, same setup. Going to do all 4 Covenants and talk about how they feel and things like that. So keep that in mind. I do specialize more in plate tanking than anything else, although Brewmaster Monk is starting to look pretty cracked out. If you have any questions, there's a Discord link down below, or you can come by to my Twitch. Again, just that link is down below. Come on by, check it out. Ask questions, have fun. It's a positive community of people that just, love to tank and love to see people getting into tanking. And there are, there's no bad questions when you're just trying to do this. I have also recorded more into the So You Want to Tank X Dungeon series. I just need to, do it now that I'm currently in the midst of at least a 24 to 36 hour storm. I'm right dab in the middle of it, so I am going to be doing more recording over today and editing work and all that fun stuff. So come on by, check that out. I'm rambling. Are you excited for Prot Warrior 9.2? What day do you think that 9.2 is going to drop? I'm hoping for February 8th, but I think it's going to be like February 22nd-ish. I think it's going to be around that date, but I would really love for a February 8th drop date. Let me know what you guys think down below. Have yourselves a good day. Happy tanking.